Hello YouTube, Duncan here from Big Toe Spud, and today I'm going to do a quick video about keeping your car outdoors, particularly if you've got something a bit nicer that you want to look after. This video came to my mind because a neighbour of mine seems to have his RS6 plugged up on a trickle charger or a battery conditioner, and I noticed he just put it in a plastic box with a brick on it. I've got something a little bit more appropriate, I would have said, for long-term storage. So maybe if your car has been locked up during lockdown, or maybe if you've got something a little bit nicer but you don't have garage space for it, maybe hopefully you can take some inspiration from this video. Might help you keep it looking nice and looked after, especially during the winter months. So let's have a look at what I've got set up here, and obviously if you've got any questions or comments, then please leave them below, and I'd be happy to respond to those and maybe make some future videos if you've got some good ideas or more things you'd like to see. So one of the first things you're definitely going to need if you're going to keep your car outdoors is a very good car cover, and you can see the one here I've got is it's a breathable car cover, and it's been custom made for this car. This one's come directly from the manufacturer, and it's a breathable material. If we zoom in, we can see how it's very water repellent. You can see how water repellent it is with the water just beading on it. And if I give it a little tug here, you can see how it all just runs off. It's a breathable fabric, it dries out very quickly, and it means that the car doesn't get too damp underneath. If we look underneath here, you can see that I've got some clips, and these clips hold it underneath to stop, if it's windy, it stops the cover blowing away. So these are definitely required for any cover that you have. You'll find some of them also have security straps where you can put a wire that goes across and has a padlock as well, which if you feel like for security reasons to add that extra peace of mind, you can get that as well. This particular cover doesn't have that on it. This one has the two straps that hold it to keep it secure, and I found that even in storms that's been more than sufficient, particularly given that it's a custom fit cover, so there's not a lot of spare space for it to catch the wind. At the front of the car you can see that I have here a waterproof box, which is where I keep all the recharging equipment. So in here I have a CTEK battery conditioner, and you can see the wire coming out from under this box and going under the cover, and that's connected into the battery terminals in the engine bay to keep the battery in good condition. These are very cheaply available. You see them a lot in pond equipment and outdoor equipment, keeping everything nice and dry. And we'll have a quick look here in a sec. You'll also notice that down here, to make sure that people don't fall over the wire, I bought an outdoor wire protector. It just stops it being a trip hazard for the postman or anyone that's walking across the driveway as much as possible, because I don't want anyone to get hurt, and I don't really want the car to be damaged either if someone falls over it. Now I have the wire plugged into an outdoor socket. As you can see here, again waterproofed to make sure that no water gets into the electrics. Of course, if you don't have this, then you may be forced to run a wire through a window, but you should find if you have a plug socket that's already up against the outside wall, it's very easy for an electrician to punch through and to install an outdoor socket for you. Looking at the box, I'll show you what's inside. So you can see that it's clipped here at the sides, nice tight fit. You can see already the water's pooling on top of it. And if I take this lid off very carefully, tipping the water off, you can see that inside I have my battery conditioner, showing that everything is fully charged up, and just with the extension lead that's coming from the plug socket, all nice and dry, perfectly dry in there. These boxes have a really good seal around the outside, and you can see even where the wires come through, they've got this padding to make sure that it's got a really tight fit and no moisture can get in. What I'll show you now is how the battery conditioner at the front of the car is just wired in under the bonnet. So I'm just going to carefully remove half the cover and open the car up to show you this. Firstly, pulling through the securing strap here to make sure that's one out of the way. And then I'm going to carefully roll this up. Being very careful not to catch the number plate or the wires. See all the water coming off the cover, and the car is completely dry underneath. I'm going to start by popping the bonnet. hopefully under here I'll be able to show you in more detail how we've got everything connected. So under the bonnet, as you can see, I've got my positive terminal that just connects under here where the plus sign is on this piece of plastic. There's a little metal terminal underneath. Perhaps a little more difficult to see is where the negative one goes, and we can see that clamps down here onto this piece of metal, which I'll try and give you a better view of now. You can see that I have the negative terminal here, just clips directly onto this piece of metal in the engine bay, which is exactly what this car needs. There's a red one here. You'll notice that I have the lead coming down through here, just underneath the bonnet, so the bonnet shuts with no problems at all. One of the things I was probably most worried about was the connections here being waterproof. As you can see, this is under the bonnet, and even if it was further down it would have been under the cover anyway, so it wasn't something I had to worry about. So let's get this shut up and I'll talk a little bit more about the last thing that I have, just to keep this looking nice and well protected whilst being outside. So the other thing you have to worry about in the car is the humidity and moisture build-up on the inside. So I've got a very simple solution for that on this, which was to buy some dehumidifying bags. These are really clever, they're very cheap, they just absorb any moisture in the car, and then once every couple of months you just need to pop them in the microwave for a few minutes just to dry them back out. Very simple solution just to make sure there's no moisture getting into the car. So if I open up the driver's side, see that here on the floor of the car I've just got these dehumidifier bags. You can see this one's already starting to turn pink, so when it's a blue colour you know that it's completely dry, and then it's now starting to turn pink, which means it's absorbing the moisture that's in the car. And you can already see just from taking the car out that it's completely moisture free, which is exactly how you'd want it to be. So I'm just going to pop all this back in and put the car back to how it was now. So now we're just going to cover it back up. Obviously already we have plugged the charger into the front. So it's now a case of just carefully putting the cover back on. So I hope you've enjoyed that short video on how I'm looking after my car and keeping it outdoors. Obviously the ideal would be to have it in the garage, of course, but that's not always practical for everybody. Hopefully at some point it will be garaged, but as an interim solution, the car cover and having the battery conditioner kept outside in a waterproof box is working really, really well. This car's got a tracker on it, and that tracker shows you the battery voltage as well, which is also quite reassuring, so I can always be sure that the charger is working. Obviously it's very quick to have a check of it as well, so that's something that I'm really pleased with the tracker. That's just all on an app on the phone, which is great. I'll put some links in the bottom to where I bought some of these things. Everything was relatively inexpensive. The CTEK battery conditioner, if you don't have one with your car, they're very easily available online, even from Amazon or any other retailer that sells car and automotive products. The box was a little trickier to find. I'll put a link into the website where I bought it from. Again, we're still talking about £20–30 I believe for the box, and a metre of the wire protector again was very, very inexpensive. I think the critical thing is always invest in the car cover, would be my advice, even for my other car, which also has a car cover. I made sure I got a very good one. It's insulated, it's breathable. Make sure you get a breathable one. If you don't spend the money on the car cover, you'll get the condensation, you'll get the problems with the paintwork. It's a forced economy, so make sure you buy a decent one if you're going to get a good car cover, especially if you've got something a bit special that you're keeping outside. Really hope you've enjoyed the video. It's been great to share it with you. Hopefully I'll be able to make some more videos showing a bit more of the car, because I'm sure that people will be interested in seeing it. Yeah, if you want to see those videos when they eventually get made, then please do sign up and subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video and you found it helpful, then again, please subscribe. For the next video, I'm going to just talk a little bit about the security that I have on the driveway, which is probably another concern if you're restricted to only having a car on the drive and you're a bit worried about how to make sure it stays there. I'll talk about some of the security arrangements that I've put in when I had the drive done as a future follow-up video to this one. Thanks for everyone for watching. Please subscribe, please like the video, and look forward to speaking to you all again hopefully very soon.